Okay.
All right, we're in business. That's good.
Okay, so welcome, guys, and I'm glad to welcome Kieran, also known as Aussiebiggame, if that's correct.
Yeah, that's me. G'day, guys. How's it going?
So you might know him from YouTube. He recently started to make a Let's Play series of his own, and yeah, we are here starting off the new series on my channel called Let's Talk About the Hunter. And I'm going to invite different people around the forums and also around YouTube, so we can just have a little conversation about the hunter and just talk about the topic. So, Kiran, um,
Yeah,
how long are you actually playing this game?
I've I've played the game probably about 2.5 years, to be honest. I picked it up late 2010. I played as a free member, and I even played it back when I could only get a maximum of about 11 frames per second. So for every minute it took everyone else, it would take me about 2.5, 3 minutes to do the same. So I hung in there and I hung in there, and it was the reason I brought my new laptop. I upgraded just so I could play the Hunter,
Okay.
and since that time I've been a steady member. I might let it slip for 1 month when I'm playing Guild Wars 2, but other than that, I've been constant and I love it. It's a great game.
Yeah, that's something I also saw about your videos. I can really see that you have a lot of experience playing this game already. So it's really good to see that on your channel, and also um, just like me. I mean, have the game since 2009. I think the end of 2009 I started,
Okay.
and yeah, just like you just told. Um, Once you're hooked with this, you just
That
can't let it go away.
that's what it is. You end up hooked. You go out the first few times and you mightn't even see a deer. You mightn't even see the mule deer at all. But you get that first one and you think, oh, he's only little. I can do better. So you go back again and again and again, and then you read up about elk and you think, oh, I want to hunt some elk. So you end up with a membership, and it's just fantastic for that. It's definitely addictive.
So um, what would be interesting actually also is, how did you find that game? I mean, I have also a funny story about that, but I'll let you first.
Uh, mine's not overly funny. I went to get a gun myself. Actually, I wanted to do some hunting here in Australia, and the gun laws over here are very, very strict. If you don't have a large piece of land that you own, you generally can't get one. You have to have a very good reason, or you have to know someone that you can visit any time and lock the gun up there. There's a list about 30 pages thick of rules and regulations. So when I found out that I couldn't own a gun, I started looking around for the best free hunting game I could on Google.
Okay.
And after about 2 or 3 pages of rip-offs of deer hunters and, like, oh, download this game, it's cracked and blah, 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 I found the Hunter and I loaded it up. It took, I think, about 4 or 5 hours to download, and off I went, and I've never looked back. It's just been, you know,
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I was always a big fan of the. You may remember the Deer Hunter series,
yeah,
and I played Deer Hunter 2005 excessively with my brother also, and
yeah.
then they announced it's going to have a new Deer Hunter um, um, Deer Hunter tournament, I think it was.
Okay.
So I was really looking forward to that, and I bought it as soon as it came out, and it was a really big downside because you know, it's a crappy game. It's
Yeah.
worse than Deer Hunter 2005, and I was so pissed. So I thought
I
maybe I'm playing it wrong or something. I went on YouTube and searching around, and suddenly when I was looking at Deer Hunter tournament videos, there was on the right side a video about it says the best hunting simulation or something, and I see the thumbnail and I think, hey, that's real footage. What are you doing
Mm.
here? And I click it, and it's actually a game. So that was the story about how I found the hunter.
uh,
And I was so
well,
happy because if I didn't find it in that part, I might have quit playing hunting games.
yeah, I used to play Cabela's Game Hunters and Big Game Hunter, and I think they've got Dangerous Hunts, and but they're just nothing like real
Yeah,
hunting. You get pulled along like you're on a set of tracks, and you just shoot things that run in front of you. There's no real challenge. You don't have to stalk or find the tracks. You don't have to judge scores. You don't have to do anything like that. This is, I have to admit, I think this is the closest game I've ever played it's real. It's as close to real as a video game's gonna get.
yeah, that's true. And it's also like the game is not set like how to play it, so everybody can kind of develop his own style. So what's your style then?
Um, I would say I'm probably 9/10 a stand hunter. I usually take either a tree stand or the tripod, and as I go along, I usually hit a stand and I say, all right, I'll give this half an hour, and I'll climb up into one of the towers or the stands, and I'll just wait and see what's around. If nothing's there, I move on. If something comes in, I call it in or scent it in and decide whether or not it's worth shooting, and then move on. I usually only stay in one stand for 45 minutes or so. I couldn't do the full 8 hour hunt, but it would be I would be a stand hunter
Yeah.
if you had to pin me down. I'd say
Okay.
yes.
Yeah, so that's something we share then, because as you can also probably see on my videos, I always kind of take my route from stand to stand. And
Yep,
yeah, I mean,
exactly what I do.
there's also a new thing with the tripod, where you sometimes think, hey, do I even need the stands? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I found out that the stands are at places where there is always some good, some good traffic. Um,
Yep.
that's when they started also to introduce this feature where the animals have patterns, where you know times where they
Hmm.
go to feed to certain places, and I found out that the stands are always a good place where you can often find animals.
Well,
So
I remember after that update that I deliberately took out two or three of my tree stands and put them up near water sources just to see what would happen, and I remember feeling actually excited by them walking in to have a drink at a certain time of day. I was there and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. It's 9 o'clock. Here they come. And a few does would walk in and have a drink. And I was like, yep, they're getting the game right now.
oh,
They're hitting it.
so that's interesting. I never experienced that. So that's a good thing. I never experienced them walking in to drink. So I mean,
They
but that's
they definitely
definitely,
do.
hey, that's cool. I mean, now I learned something. That's really great. I mean, I also thought about putting out tree stands to places, but I mainly do it for the bear bite.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, but that's definitely something to try. I mean, if you find a nice spot where you have a clearing or something, um,
Yep.
that should be also places where they frequently go, the animals.
Yeah,
Or
they come down to eat to feed on the grass. So if you set up a tree stand in one of the clearings, that's usually a good chance you'll see something coming through. I've found in my experience anyway. Other players might argue against it or have a different opinion, but I've definitely noticed that you get traffic coming in and out of the
yeah,
fields and in and out of water sources now, which is it was one of my favorite updates to the game.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's really great. So, talking about the features of the game, what do you actually see the game going to? I mean, we are actually still a niche. It's still a niche game. So
Yeah, well, I like it being a niche game. I don't want your Call of Duty players, if you know what I mean. I don't want Call of Duty
mhm.
players to suddenly run in and take over the game and demand these OP grenade launchers to hunt deer with and chase dinosaurs with a machete and things like that. I love the realism, and I think that's how the game's going to keep going. They'll add more reserves and more animals, but every reserve and every animal is so realistically detailed. They go into the details of how that animal moves, how that animal looks, what if it's in a herd. You know how elk travel in big groups, whereas whitetail you very rarely see more than one together.
Yeah.
It's things like that that make the game, well, that's what attracts its players, the ones who pay for membership and play for a long time. I think that's what's really fantastic about the game, the realism and the detail.
Okay. So as we know, we are that the game is the concept of the game is to be a member. So you pay for a time that you are going to be a member,
Mhm.
and in that time or that game gets constantly developed. So that's also something special about this game. And so I would like to know what would be the thing you wish for the most to be added. I
Uh,
mean, maybe also in
well,
context of the things that the developers also maybe said at one point that this could happen or this may happen or whatever.
um, uh, I'd say there's probably three main things I would love to see come to the game, just for me to be completely satisfied. I would love to see either a small game.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see either waterfowl or small game brought in. I know a lot of people wouldn't enjoy hunting rabbits, but over here in Australia, it's actually pretty much every hunter's pastime. You take your little 22, your 22 down to the field and shoot a few rabbits of an afternoon. It's just part of my culture here. The second thing I'd love to see would be a snow reserve.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they've said anything about that. The developers always keep big releases like that under their hat. They're very sly, but a snowy environment to hunt in would be absolutely fantastic. And finally, mouflon or mountain goats from America, one of those two species I would love to see. I just think they're a fantastic looking creature and they're so rare in real life, especially the American mountain goat. I can't think of its actual name at the moment,
Mm-hmm.
um, but to be able to take a trophy one of them would, even in a game, would make me feel pretty special because they wouldn't be easy to hunt.
Yeah, so you
That's
also would want them to make it very hard to get one of those then in the game, like compared to,
well,
for example, getting some feral hogs or something.
yeah, yes, I honestly, I would hope that they realize that getting within 100 meters in real life of one of those goats is near impossible. There's
Okay.
very few people who bow hunt them for that reason, and that so it would all be long range rifle shooting at extreme elevations. So I would love to see it. It would be fantastic.
Okay. And so you've been with this game for quite a long time, as you said before, and there has been quite a lot of content created in that time. But what of the current content that we have already? What of that would be in most need of tweaking, in your opinion, or are you just happy with everything the way it is?
Um, I'd say I'm 98% happy. There's probably one or two minor bugs that need fixing, like the animals sometimes getting caught on terrain. I'm sure you've had it happen
Yeah.
to you. It's I know it must be impossible as a programmer to program the AI to dodge every tree and every rock and every stone, and but it kind of really breaks immersion when you put a shot on an animal and you see it hit a tree and just run on the spot before dying. It just it. And the only other thing I could say would need tweaking is I think the feral hog don't quite look like the feral pigs I've seen.
Yeah,
They they they're kind of an odd jelly bean shape or something along those lines, which
they're
you get
also a
the
bit
idea
short,
there.
right? Like,
Yeah, they should be a bit longer, not little stunty guys with a flat head.
yeah,
They almost have a flat face, which I've seen plenty of wild hogs in my country town. I see them brought into town on the back of trucks, just after being shot, and they're not short at all. They're actually quite long animals. So, but other than those two, I mean, they're only minor gripes.
mm,
Things like I think sometimes the bear can be almost too easy to spook. The same with the coyote.
mm-hmm.
100 meters away, they seem to be able to smell you when you've got the scent eliminator on and you're downwind of them. But again, that adds to the challenge of the game. So
Yeah,
it might be just part of their decision there. So yeah, there's only a few minor bugs really that need fixing. There's nothing overhauled that I can see. Nothing needs an overhaul. Sorry, I'm tripping over my own words here.
no, that's all right. I mean, I'm happy that in this video at least one person is able to talk proper English and not you know German accent stuff. So when talking about developing the game or about just what is developed, we also come across the developers themselves. So what do you think of the team and how they handle all that game and community?
Well, I've been involved in I think I've been involved in about 30 odd betas of games. So, Mech Warrior Online, I'm involved in the War Z at the moment. I've been involved in, the list goes on and on, Planet Side 2. Just those are just three that I can think of off the top of my head. I've been involved in a lot of betas. I enjoy being part of the development process. And what the staff at the Hunter do is they include every player in that process all the time. You get a heap of feedback from them. You get weekly updates on what they're planning on doing. This is what they've done. This is how they're fixing it. Blah blah blah. They're like I said. It's almost like the game's because the game's constantly in development. Like you said, they bring every player who visits the forums in, and we all get a say in things. If we don't like something, we've got as much right as anyone else to say that. And they take it on board and they listen. Everyone said that blacktail and mule deer didn't have high enough scoring
Yeah,
racks. That was it. The antlers weren't good enough. And so the development team took a couple of months, but they listened. Well, they were
yeah,
listening the whole time, working on it, but they listened and they brought in the True Racks updates for both of them. And since then, there hasn't been a problem. You can get a very nice scoring mule deer or a blacktail now.
yeah. That's very
So
true.
so it's those sort of things that I think are just fantastic about the development team. They're the best development team I've ever had anything to do with. Like I said, I've worked with plenty of them, and a lot of them just seem to. They don't ignore the players
Mm,
as such, but they don't talk to them either, and that's what the developers at the Hunter do so well. They take the time out of their. Well, I mean, let's face it, they're very busy,
yeah, true.
and they take the time to sit down on the forums and write out a post and explain this is what we think, and they have a joke with people, and yeah, that's the best part about the development team by far.
Yeah, that's something I actually couldn't say better than you. Totally agree with you there. Although I don't have so much experience with other communities, but I'm there since 2009, and it feels like it's so natural to talk to all these people there, and you get a lot of
Well,
feedback. I mean, as you said, they don't tell too much about what they're planning. I mean, they still keep a lot of secrets, I believe. But the most important thing is that they listen to the people. I can remember just about that blacktail and mule deer thing. They first we said all You know, on blacktails, I mean, it's not really common to get so big monsters all the time, because back then it was no problem to shoot a 190 scoring
Yeah,
blacktail. So that was a little
yeah,
bit
it was easy.
unrealistic. And we said,
Now and
and we complained,
then I
we
went.
kind of complained
Yeah,
about that, and then they took it to what it was before, and then it was a little bit too much, too small blacktails. So now we found the middle, but that's something which is really great. I mean, they don't they don't go and say, "Hey, last time you wanted something, now that's not good either." So we just not going to change things the way you want.
mm.
They just go along the flow and take it from there, which is great.
Well, I remember when I first joined up on the forums, and I found out that the development team only had, I think at the time it was 5 people or 6 people. That was the
Oh
the,
yeah.
the entire development staff of the game. I was like, 6 people running this game. Oh, I better sign up for membership again, because to me, what they've brought out is just fantastic considering the number of people working on it. I mean, I look at PlanetSide 2 or something like that, and they've literally got 100 or more developers working on the game,
Yeah,
and it's got more bugs than the Hunter does.
true.
Do, and that's to me that says something about their dedication, and they keep secrets from the community, and I know why they do it too, because they don't want to say anything and get us all excited, and then it turns out that they can't release it on
Mm.
the date that they said, or that they had to take it out for legal reasons, or that something stops them from producing it. So next thing you know, we start getting mad at them or upset. So I can understand why they're very cautious about announcing anything. Like the new bow, I just read the status update today, and the new bow's not supposed to come out till early next year. So that's the biggest hint I've seen in the last couple of months about what's coming up. So
Yeah,
I'm a bit excited.
I know
A
from.
new compound bow, yeah.
That's something I know from talking to you before. You are pretty much looking forward to that bow, right?
Oh
So
yeah,
what's so special about that one? I actually myself I don't even know what is so you know, I'm not
this
a bow specialist. I love hunting with the bow, but I don't know much about it.
well, I think this one, the big difference is going to be that there will be a three site pin automatically.
Mhm.
So, which is just far more realistic. I've got a cheap $200 compound down in the shed. I mean, it's real cheap, and it's even got 3 sites, whereas the one we've been using in the game for the last I think 2 years, it's been
Mhm.
out since I started playing anyway. It's only ever had the one pin, which is just, I don't know, it feels like a big step up if we start having three pin sight bows, which is more realistic. I don't know a single hunter in my archery club or anything like that that uses anything less.
Okay.
So that's what I'm actually excited about. A new set of pins. Woo, you know.
So will that also be upgraded then for the current compound bow, or?
As far as I read, and I wouldn't quote me on it like it's the gospel, but I believe they're planning on having sights for the bow similar to you have scopes for the
Ah,
gun.
nice.
So you'll be able to switch out scopes and have different sights depending on what your playstyle is. So some people might really enjoy the one pin, some might enjoy 5 pins, and some might enjoy three. I think that's what the end goal will be. I think. I
Okay.
think.
So that's great. I'm sure a lot of bow fans will like that kind of information. And since you have a YouTube channel also, that I will also
Yeah.
link to on the description of this video, and we'll see maybe this whole video here will also be posted on your channel. And
hmm
so that leads me to the next question, and that's what is your intention to do with the videos you post about the hunter? Why did you start doing that?
I've wanted to do a let's play for a long time of a there. quite a few different games. I thought about doing the Hunter, and I was watching your videos, and I thought, oh, I could do this, but I've always been too nervous to step in front of a camera or speak, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exactly a brave person when it comes to being in the public's eye. And then after talking to you, I left a comment on your YouTube, I think, or sent you a private message through YouTube, and and you basically said give it a go. So I gave it a go, and it seems people are enjoying it. So basically, my plan is to bring out 2 episodes a week, roughly, and I want to do one request where players ask me to hunt certain things a certain way, or ask me if a new player's confused and doesn't know how to call in a white-tailed deer or where to find them. I'd quite happily do a whole 20-minute episode on just where to hunt whitetail. This is how I do it, and the chances are you'll be successful doing it.
So,
And the other
so your
and the other one will be just what I enjoy.
sorry. So your intention is also, as you just said, with that request thing, to help people. So you
Yeah.
want to show your hunting actually, or your gameplay, in order to help people searching the internet for you know, for
Yeah,
let's plays, or like um, for gameplay
tutorial.
content. So they want to learn, probably, or some people search also to learn how to play the game. So I thought that's a good thing to.
Well, I remember when I was starting out, and the only way to really learn anything about the game was to go on the forums and ask a question.
Mm,
Uh, the fan guides, the fan guide section of the forums at the moment, is about triple the size it was when I first arrived on the forums, and that was only about a year and a half ago, or a bit over. So when I arrived there, I think there was 2 guides that were stickied, and now we're up to something like 10 or 12. So there's more and more information being put out there all the time, and I just feel that new players coming into a game like this, the learning curve's so steep that unless you can help them out, they're very quickly going to put the game down and walk away. So that's part of my intention. The other part is to just do something creative with my free time and share it with people who want to watch it.
yeah.
That's the other half of why I do it.
Okay. So hang on a second. I think I have a little problem with that camera.
Oh no.
No, that's no problem. Okay. Here we go again. There might be a little cut in my video, so but that's no problem.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's basically actually also what I did. I wanted to first I just went on YouTube and put in a little clip, like to show off some big elk I shot, you know, just like a
Yeah.
small thing. And then later I did a video where I had a little montage kind of thing about kill shots mostly, and I had a little some titles down there, and then I thought, hey, I never can find any, or at that time it was hard to find videos with comments of people that actually knew how to play the game, um, because I thought always, you know, when someone is a let's player, for example, and he's
Mhm.
let's playing lots of different games, so he finds this game, the Hunter, and thinks, hey, that's looking cool. That's something different. Let's try this. So he starts a let's play, but he never played before, and of course, it might be boring to run around, especially running, and you
Mhm.
know, you never see animals. So I
No,
thought,
you
hey,
never see any.
I played this game for quite a while now, so I should maybe give it a try, and that's how it started. I just wanted to put something on YouTube where people who want to find out how to play that game have something to look at, and I was a little bit sick of all these, especially after the retail box kicked in. People who bought it just went home, unpacked it, installed it, and said, "Let's do a let's play." And I have nothing against that. It's actually really cool because it also um, brings out the game there. I mean, you find lots of more stuff on YouTube now, but yeah, that was my intention, was actually to put something out there um, that people can look at and learn something maybe. So
Yeah, no.
that's about that. And yeah, I think we maybe answered that already. I wanted to ask you if you are active in the community.
I'm reasonably active, I would say. I used to post quite a lot on the forums, and then for whatever reason, I'm not exactly sure, I just took a little break from the forums. I never stopped playing the Hunter. I still used to log in at least twice or three times a week, but other games took over my life, like Skyrim,
Mm-hmm.
Guild Wars 2, um, few games like that, and I didn't exactly leave the forums altogether. I just lurked. I just sort of watched and listened and got to know what people are like without necessarily being the person they're talking to. Does that?
Yeah.
I decided I just sort of observed would be the right
Mm-hmm.
word. I observed everyone on the forums and saw who was who, and you know, and then just recently I came back and they had a post up about the Hunter reaching, what was it? They went they got two new interns and the new CEO, Pim, I think it is,
Yeah,
the new
yeah,
CEO.
exactly, yes.
And I just my one post I said, congratulations guys, it's a big step forward, and after that I couldn't help myself. I was in typing in every post I could get hold of, and I'm back to being active again. It wasn't that it wasn't that I got sick of the game or got sick of the forums or anything like that. I just decided that I'd be a bit quieter and let other people do the talking for a while.
Okay, so that's yeah, that's what I experienced too, kind of. I mean, you
Mhm.
have times where you're more active, and then sometimes also with other games, then you find something and you play that more. And but it has always been with this game that you always you have to go back sometime, at least
Yeah.
checking if there's something new, and if there's something new, of course you're going to try it out and stuff. So yeah, I'm very happy to be able to talk to you, and it was really nice having you on the show. And yeah, is there something you would like to say that we forgot or something?
No, I think we covered everything. I just I guess if this makes it to YouTube before Christmas, I wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a safe holidays, a Happy New Year's, and I'll be around after New Year's, so check out my videos. I'll be trying to post a couple each week, and other than that, I think that's it. We've covered everything,
Okay,
so
so
thank you for having me, Pratzi.
yeah, that's also something I wanted to ask you. Finally, I mean, my name Pratze, that's spoken
Yeah.
in the German way,
Uh,
actually means something like paw, like a paw.
okay. Yeah.
And I don't know how English people would say that, because Pratze
Uh,
is not something easy to.
um, we'd say it Pratzi.
Okay, that's fine.
That's Australian. I don't know how the English would say it, but that's Australian. We'd say Pratzi.
Okay.
Pratzi. Yeah, Pratzi. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yes,
All right.
then also from my side, thanks a lot for being here, and yeah, I hope we see much more from you. And as I said in the description, there's going to be a link to the channel of Aussiebiggame Hunting. Is that correct? Aussiebiggame Hunting,
Yeah.
all written in one.
Aussie big game, but my YouTube name's Master Stranger with two R's. So
Yeah, okay, so that's
uh,
the different.
just follow the
Yeah.
link.
Okay. So
All right.
we'll call it a day for this time, and as always, happy hunting to you.